Hi, my name is Allison. Today we're going to talk about how to nurture yourself when you're used to giving everything. This is a very, very common thing for moms, for women in general, for people who feel like givers. It matters a lot because it can have tremendous effects on our mental health, on how we're able to show up for other people, on just the ability to be in life at our fullest level. So it's really important to learn how to nurture yourself when you're used to giving everything. And if you feel like a caregiver or someone who is a perpetual emptier of your own tank for other people, you really love to take care of other people, but you often feel like you're an overgiver, then you're in the right place. Okay, so by the end of these 13-ish minutes, you're going to understand what that is about, the giving side of it, and how do you turn that towards yourself? How do you turn it into a nurturing state for yourself so that you can be a whole and healthy person? I have a very dear friend of mine who just epitomizes the image of a giver. She has constantly given. She has constantly given of her time and her energy to boost, to elevate her family, those around her, to take care of, to hold it all together, to make everybody feel like they have it all and all that they need. And she is at a place right now where she's come into a state of really mental breakdown, saying this doesn't work anymore. This is unsustainable. This doesn't seem like what we think it is. We think it's just giving, but we feel like it's hurting us. And I think that that is a really important thing to make a distinction of, because if you are a completely healthy individual who knows how to nurture yourself, you are doing that simultaneously as you are nurturing other people. And the giving then doesn't abandon yourself in any way. They kind of work hand in hand. It's a healthy place to be. However, if you haven't learned how to nurture yourself, then what you're doing is just ignoring. You're ignoring yourself and turning outwards towards others. And that starts to really have terrible, terrible side effects, let alone the fact that down the road it can cause diseases and illnesses. In the meantime, it actually creates much more tension in relationships than you realize. And it creates a body that's just starting to sort of lock down on itself because it's not getting the care and attention and the emotional nutrients, if you will, that it needs. So typically someone might say, okay, you have to learn how to take care of yourself. Maybe that looks like self-care. Maybe that looks like taking some time to yourself, doing some things that you love. And that's all well and good, but it's also very surface. And I'm not a surface kind of person. I bet that you're probably not either. So for me, it didn't resonate in a way that felt authentic. It didn't feel like I was doing anything other than adding another task to my day when I was doing these things for myself and self-care and taking care of myself. And I had come from a background of guilt over anything that felt selfish. So if I'm sitting there saying I'm doing this for myself, but my head is saying, well, you're being selfish with your time and you should be doing this and you should be doing that, then it's not actually producing the thing that I want it to. So that then becomes this battle in ourselves of, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do this, and what am I supposed to, like, what in the world, what do I even do? But I think that at the bottom of it all, it has everything to do with relationship. Everything is relationship. It's relationship with how we learn how to be with the pieces of ourself that are experiencing different things and feeling different things. It's relationship to be in relationship with others. It's all things are about how they relate and how we work with them. So let me kind of demonstrate this for you with my drawings. All right, so if this is you and you are used to giving of your energy outside of you to other people, to projects, things to do, other things to do, things things that are expected of you. If you are giving constantly and you're like, this is my role, this is what I do. Maybe this is many roles. All my roles are giving, and I'm giving, 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 giving. What you're doing is your eyes are always out. They're always facing out. They're always looking outwards. How do I send my energy? Where do I send my energy? And the deeper desire underneath that is for relationship, is for love and belonging, is for connection. Like when I give to them, ideally they give back to me, and we have this relationship that goes back and forth. But what ends up happening is that we are much messier as humans than that. So it isn't like this equal back and forth often in our lives. And so what ends up happening is we don't feel like we're getting these things back that we want. We're just giving, 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 giving. And so we end up getting more and more and more constricted and empty feeling because we're not receiving the things that we want. So when we learn how to turn our eyes away from the external back to ourselves, we're gonna look back downward. We're gonna look at our body. We're gonna look at ourselves. When we turn back to ourselves, what we see is a whole space that has been in neglect, and the care that we've been pouring into other people is not present here. So we have a big space that needs work, and that needs repair, and that needs looked at and listened to and acknowledged. And what this really is relationship. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, instead of looking out all the time, I'm going to take at least a good portion of my day, at least in my moments, consistently thinking about it, and I'm going to just turn it back towards myself. And I'm going to say, okay, the same way that I would ask this other person outside of me, what do you need? How are you feeling? How are you doing? How's your day? The same way that I would speak to them, I'm going to turn that back to myself. I'm almost going to be outside of myself, learning how to interact with myself. And I will say, when I first got started with this, it felt awkward to me. I was like, I don't know how to have a relationship with myself. Like, this doesn't even make sense. What do you mean? So what I would do is I would think of it as I'm having like a relationship with my body, because my eyes could see my body. I can look down and say, oh, I see you. I think I first started recognizing this when I was pregnant, and it was almost like I didn't quite learn how to have a relationship with the baby, but I could see the bellies. It was like I was in relationship with this belly of mine. So it's almost how I'm doing it in this sense too. I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at my body, and I'm asking it questions. I'm asking it questions as if I was talking to another person. So this is how we start to understand that friendship with ourselves is the baseline of any type of self-care, any type of self-love, any type of acceptance. It's a learning how to have friendship. Well, how do you have friendship with other people? You take time. You ask questions. You listen to them. You don't just bulldoze over with your own intentions all the time. You pay attention. This is about learning how to pay attention, because nurture is only nurture if it's able to be received. So you are paying attention to, what does my body need to receive? Does it just need like really basic human things right now? Do I need sleep? Do I need food? Do I need warmth? Or does it need purpose? Does it need to process some emotion that's happening inside? Does it need to work through some scenario that, it doesn't quite understand? Does it just need to be in conversation with me? Like, maybe it just needs to be in conversation with me, and I just haven't been listening. What's so interesting about this is that the more that you listen and pay attention to what is happening all throughout here, the louder it becomes. Like, it gets so much more of a voice because you are giving it space to be heard. So when you start to listen to it, you may end up finding like, whoa, my gut or my stomach has been like in pain, or it's been having a lot of struggle or tension or problems, or I've been holding myself in this way that feels like tension and force, and I didn't even realize that I was, and you don't notice it until you pay attention and you turn your eyes to it. So nurturing yourself is a practice if you've never learned how to do it before. And also, you're very good at nurture. Just the fact that you clicked on this means that you're a giver. You're good at nurturing. You know how to nurture other people. So, the same way that you would reach out in order to take care of someone else, you're just going to turn it on you and think of yourself almost as a different entity that you can interact with and say, hey, how can I help you today? Hey, what do you need? Hey, what do we want? Hey, what do we want to feel? What do we want to feel is a really, really good question to ask yourself. So if this makes sense to you, I would really encourage you to just take some little bitty times and moments throughout the day to remember to check in with your body, check in with the experience that is being had by you, by your soul, by your spirit, by your body. Like just ask, just check in and talk to all these things. And it's okay if it feels awkward. It's okay if it feels a little silly. And I will say that sometimes it's useful to have someone outside of you asking you these things, because we don't know how to do it. We haven't been taught how to do it. And so when we're first learning how to do it, it feels a little bit like, uh, is this even working? And our brain can kind of like go crazy on us and be like, what are you doing? Stop it. You don't want to do that. So having another person as another voice in there with you is very, very useful, because that is another way to kind of check in and scan through and listen and pull out what's really trying to talk to you, because your body is always trying to talk to you. It's always trying to express its needs. And it's just a matter of learning how to hear it, learning how to listen, and then offering it to it. That's all that nurture really is. So if this resonates with you and it feels like, man, that sounds like I could take a big deep breath and that would be a different way to live and I could enjoy that, I would really encourage you to check out my one-on-one mentorship program. It's really a baseline piece that we have in there is this self relationship, a learning to come into connection with yourself, acceptance of yourself, care for yourself, so that you can build this foundation inside that's completely unshakable, because you've got you and you're with you. And then from that, you're able to you're able to like be a giver that you never even realized, because there won't be any undertones of manipulation, because you're self fulfilling. You're taking care of the needs all the time. I love working with people one on one. It's this particular part is one of my favorite things, because most people are not accustomed to learning how to have self relationship, and it's life changing. It's life changing. So I would love for you to check it out. We would get on a call. We just have a chat. You can find out all the information that you want. It's a free call. I do only work with a few committed women at a time. So if it feels like, yeah, I need this in my life right now, then go ahead and click the link in the description and book yourself a call with me. All right, so remember, if you want to learn how to nurture yourself, you have to treat yourself with attention. You turn attention towards yourself in the same way that you would turn it towards other people. So watch yourself and how your eyes are always outward, 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 and start practicing little by little every day, all throughout the day, turning it inward, checking in with yourself, checking in with your body, checking in with your mind. What's going on in here? How can I hold us? Okay, that's the kinds of stuff I want you to be thinking about all the time. I talk about these kinds of things regularly with all different kinds of words around it and drawings around it on this channel. So if you enjoyed this, please continue to check out the rest of it. There is a video that you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this one, you might enjoy the video called How to Create Inner Peace When Chaos Won't Stop. I also have videos on here just having to do with our mind to body connection, how we get back in touch with our body and our nervous system and all that really good juicy stuff. So remember, if you want personalized support with this and hand in hand walking through it, click the link in the description below, book a call about my one-on-one mentorship program. I'm very curious about your experience with this. It would be super cool if you could let me know if you checked it out, and I will be back for more support helping you navigate connecting your smart brain to your wise body so you can live happy, strong, and free.